I'm going to factor the polynomial x to the fourth plus 4x cubed minus 39x squared plus 54x. Okay, so the first step that we can do is to factor out an x from all the terms. This will make the polynomial into only a cubic polynomial, which is much easier to deal with and factor. So factoring out an x gives x times x to the third plus 4x squared minus 39x plus 54. Okay, now the next step is to find factors of this cubic polynomial in the inside of the brackets. And the way to do that is to look at the factors of 54, and if there's any factor of 54, the last constant term here, that when substituted into the polynomial for x makes it equal to 0, that means that x minus that number is a factor of the polynomial. So we can check numbers and see if they do make 0. For example, let's try 2. So subbing in 2 for x, you get 2 cubed is 8. And 4 times 2 squared is 16. Plus 16. Negative 39 times 2 is negative 78. Minus 78. And plus 54. And we'll see if this equals 0. So doing the math, it actually does equal 0. So that means that 2 works, and so x minus 2 is a factor of this cubic polynomial. So now the next step is to divide in x minus 2. You can use synthetic division to do that. So draw the half box. Write a positive 2, because if you set x minus 2 equal to 0, which we could, x 2 equals 0, x equals 2. So you write a 2 on the outside, and on the inside list the coefficients of the polynomial, which are in order 1, 4, negative 39, and 54. Okay, first step is to bring down the 1 and write it on the bottom. Now you multiply by the outside number, the 2, and write it in the next row, 2, and then you add the top and the bottom numbers to get 6. Repeating the process, you multiply by 2 to get 12. You add to get negative 27. And you multiply by 2 again to get negative 54. And you add and you get 0. This is perfect. We needed to get 0, because if we hadn't, that would mean that either we did something wrong or x minus 2 isn't a factor. But because 0 here is present, and that is the remainder, because the remainder is 0, that confirms that x minus 2 is a factor. So now these bottom numbers represent the coefficients of the new polynomial, which are in order, so you can kind of work backwards. Negative 27 is the constant, 6 is the x term, so 6x, and 1 is the x squared term, so just x squared. So that's the result of our division when we divide this cubic polynomial by x minus 2. So that means that now we can write our full polynomial as x, that we factored out, times x minus 2, which we also just factored out, times this quadratic, x squared. plus 6x minus 27. So now the final step is to factor this quadratic. And so this quadratic factors into x minus 3, and x plus 9 as negative 3 and 9 multiply to negative 27 and add to positive 6. Those are our two numbers. So these are the two factors of the quadratic. So now we can write our full fourth degree polynomial as x times x minus 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 9. And we're finished. We've broken it into a series of linear factors.